and Kunal Kamara reacted back. Maybe just held his collar and he held his collar back, and this whole thing, very much possible, turned into a physical altercation between these two men. Is it possible or is it absurd? It's perfectly possible. Sonu Nigam's Azan controversy. So everybody knows about it. I won't go through all those tweets. I think everybody knows them at the back of their head. But there were reactions to those tweets, and they were laden with hypocrisy. Some people called Sonu Nigam a Modi stooge. I don't know. Then Shekhar Gupta called him ignorant and someone who has a bad grammar. But one of the more interesting reactions was from Nidhi Razdan. And this is what she said. She said the day Sonu Nigam's songs or bhajans start or stop playing at those jagrans in my neighborhood or in anybody's neighborhood is when people should stop playing azan in the morning. What a bright, what an intelligent statement made by one of the premier journalists in India, a 35-40-year-old woman. Nidhi ji, suniye, there's a difference between a singer's pre-recorded songs, recorded maybe 20 years ago, being played in some corner of the world by some jagaran wale, tent wale, some organization without that singer's knowledge. He has no clue what are the crores of places where his songs are played at. There's a difference between this and somebody doing live azan at 5 in the morning, with loudspeakers on. Do you see the difference between the two, or do I need to spell it out more? If I need to spell it out more, I won't. I think rest of the people who are looking at this video, they're not as dumb, I imagine. Then there were reactions where some people called him a failed singer who's now trying to get attention. ऐसे ये failed singer वाला बहुत लोगों ने use किया. Sonam Mohapatra used it recently, that he's a failed singer who is past his prime. Now 10 days before this, forget even 10 days, actually during that whole controversy, Sonu Nigam had just collaborated with Sachin Tendulkar for a music video, for a song, and in just 2 days time they got 1 million hits on that song. It was on around 10th of April, and Sonu Nigam tweeted this on 17th of April, and there were people who said if you search for Sonu Nigam on YouTube, the only thing that you see over there is those 2003 glory days of Sonu Nigam with Kal Ho Na Ho. He has done nothing of note in the last 14-15 years. He's a failed singer, and this is a desperate attempt to get attention, or to satisfy the ruling party because he's a Modi stooge. Then they named Randeep Hooda, who's also a Modi stooge. Nobody cared for rest of the tweets where he criticized Gurudwaras, the Mandis. Nobody cared for his tweet a year ago about Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations, where he shot a video. Sonu Nigam shot a video of all the bheed, of all the chaos, maybe the kachra too, and he criticized it. This is what we're doing in the name of religion. Nobody brought that up. Sonu Nigam has openly lambasted BJP leaders for the Babri Masjid demolition that happened about 30 years ago, and he did that after the court ruled in favor of those leaders. He probably even took L.K. Advani's name in his interview to Times Now in about July of 2020. But nobody wants to talk about that because that does not suit their narrative that Sonu Nigam is a Modi stooge, he's a Modi bhakt. The people who were hurt by his insensitive tweets against Islam, gold standard of hypocrisy, right? Kunal Kamara's mid-flight run-in with Arnab Goswami. Alright, full disclosure, I have zero respect for Arnab Goswami. Zero. I mean, I do not think that he does journalism. Whatever he does, he does. But then I have respect for Kunal Kamra neither. I mean, I don't feel this urge that everyone does कि I have to pick a side. मैं या तो left हूँ या तो मैं right हूँ. They are both despicable. They are both morons. But talking of this mid-flight incident, I think as of now at this moment, Kunal Kamra should have been in jail, not suspended from Indigo or a bunch of other airlines for 6 months. That was nothing. He just got away with it. So this is what happens. Kunal Kamra sees Arnab Goswami and decides, okay, I hate this man because of his politics or because of his lack of ethics in his journalism, and this is my responsibility to take him on, to confront him mid-flight and make sure that I record the whole thing and then I put it out on Twitter for the world to see. And that's what he does. He goes to Arnab Goswami, does what he does. We all know what happened then. And he becomes a national overnight sensation. So much so that the leader of the biggest political party in India, Rahul Gandhi, takes his name, talks about him in national newspaper or national press conference to criticize a journalist or a government. And that's how Kunal Kamra turns from being a small-time Twitter celebrity to someone who almost everybody knows now. My parents had no clue of this guy's existence, but they know him now. And why is it wrong? Isn't it obvious? Like, it's wrong for two reasons. One of the reasons is a hypothesis that I'll explain to you, which might sound absurd to you, but if you just think about it, if you hear it without any bias, without labeling me Bhakt or Islamophobic in your head, if you just listen patiently as a neutral person without picking sides, it might make sense to you. That's my first theory. But I'll start with the second one. The second is, like I said, he became an overnight sensation. Rahul Gandhi talked about him. Rahul Gandhi is the president, or was the president back then, of the biggest political party, Congress, for God's sake. And how did he become so popular? He saw a celebrity, a bigger celebrity than him, in a flight, and he went to him and he created a ruckus. Okay, this did not turn into a ruckus because Arnab Goswami did not react, but he gave his best shot. Kunal Kamra gave his best shot. Now, it turned him into an overnight superstar. Like I said, what lesson? How does it inspire other morons, other loonies? Maybe I can take my cue from Kunal Kamra. I want to be popular. I want to be in the news. So next time I'm in a flight, and if I see a public figure, I just pick my phone, turn on the camera, video, and I just start vomiting, start abusing, or maybe start criticizing him, start mocking that celebrity, and I shoot the whole thing. Then I put it out on Twitter, and bam, I'm famous. This is a stunt that I can perfectly pull off because Kunal Kamra did it and he became national news. And most of the intellectuals, elites, Bollywood, they were all praising for him. He did not become infamous after this. He became famous after this, right? That's one. So Kunal Kamra is literally inspiring people to create ruckus mid-flight. 2. What if Arnab Goswami had reacted? What if he did this? Fuck off. Just don't come in the way. What if he did this and Kunal Kamra's phone fell off and Kunal Kamra reacted back? Maybe just held his collar and he held his collar back, and this whole thing, very much possible, turned into a physical altercation between these two men. Is it possible, or is it absurd? It's perfectly possible. When you do this, what Kunal Kamra was doing, it can very well lead to a physical fight if the man on the receiving end runs thin on patience and does not have his earphones on. And then what if Arnab Goswami had his fans in that flight in the same section? What if Kunal Kamra had his fans? And they decided to jump into this fight between their two gurus or these people that they look up to. How do you think the picture could have looked like? How do you think this mid-flight ruckus could have looked like if Arnab Goswami reacted and if both of these people had their fans? This is not an outrageous theory. This is not an outrageous hypothesis. It could have been very much possible. And we know what all it could have led to. The pilot of Indigo Airlines might disagree with the suspension, saying there is no such rule, but let's just use logic. Let's not blindly agree to what pilot is saying, that the pilot is saying. It could have made things worse when you are a passenger in an airplane and you see a bunch of people physically fighting with each other. You would be scared death for your life. All right, this Kunal Kamra deserved to go to jail for that, not to be cited as an example of liberalism by the president of the biggest political party of the country. That's how sick it is. He did not deserve an Anurag Kashyap saying I'll go and protest if this suspension is not lifted. Are you kidding me? Are you a real person, Anurag Kashyap? Can you even imagine what things it could have led to then and what things it can still lead to in future? How many people can take inspiration from Kunal Kamra just to get their 15 seconds of fame? How can you be so blind? You hate Modi. I have no issues with them. You have your own political ideology. You hate Arnab Goswami. I hate Arnab Goswami. But how does that justify whatever Kunal Kamra did? I cannot fathom it. Educated people, intellectuals supporting Kunal Kamra in this and saying their suspension was harsh. He got away with it. He should have been sent to jail for at least 2 years, so that even if Rahul Gandhi or Anurag Kashyap was talking about this guy, nobody would have taken inspiration, because nobody wanted the kind of fame that would send them to jail for a couple of years. Sunny Leone's interview with Bhupinder Chaube, if that's the name, it was horrifying. The kind of questions that guy asked, the kind of accusations, they were almost accusations that he made on Sunny Leone. It was the way a woman was treated, a human being was treated and ridiculed in that interview. It made me sick. It made my stomach churn. I could not believe that this is a journalist, a senior journalist, who is talking like that. The questions he asked, the statements that he made. आपके इंडिया में आने के बाद इंडिया में पॉर्न बढ़ गया है दिखना. People have started to watch more and more porn. And he put it as an insult, as an accusation, not just an observation, right? People have become more sexual after you joined Bollywood. Men have gravitated towards this, towards that. Do you feel responsible for that? And it was so lovely seeing Sunny Leone answer those questions. She did not come with a sob story. She did not say that I was forced into this profession, या मेरे circumstances ऐसे थे जो मुझे porn करना पड़ा, and I regret that. I wish I could remove that part of my life from my memories. She did not do that. She owned up to everything. She said, I'm proud of it. That is what I chose for myself. I wanted to be a porn star, so I became a porn star, and there is no shame in it. And that is part of my life that made me who I am. Yeah, and I'm not one of those people. Yes, maybe there may be girls who do it out of compulsion. I'm not one of them. That was very much a happy choice for me, and I was happy when I was doing it, and I'm not ashamed of that. And if anybody feels he should look at me differently because I'm a porn star, that is their problem. I really don't care. And that was such a lovely, dignified response. And that is what I call feminism. That is what I call a strong woman who is not inventing things issues in the name of feminism and saying, see, this is what's wrong with the world, this is how women are treated as second class citizens in the world, which is true to an extent, but that's another issue. On Sunny Leone, it was horrifying, the questions, but then it was made really better. It her responses made it easier to sit through that interview and maybe expose the sexism that exists in our country and how we look at porn stars, as especially female porn stars, as nothing but, I don't know, loose women. So maybe it was good that interview happened. Subscribe to Legend Martini for your daily dose of lifestyle, movies, fashion, career, health and wellness, and everything else under the sun. Don't forget to hit the bell icon.